Ex-UK Prince Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor arrested amid Epstein scandal. 8 skiers found dead after California avalanche. And South Korea's ex-president jailed for life over martial law attempts. Bill Gates pulls out of India's AI summit over Epstein files controversy. Good afternoon. Welcome to the World in 30 Minutes on Politics and Business Television. I am Omike Joseph Matthew. Many thanks for joining us. Details of these stories and more coming your way right after this short break. Rescue teams are searching the Back County near California's Lake Tahoe have recovered the bodies of 8 skiers who were reported missing after a massive avalanche struck the Capsule Peak area on Tuesday. Authorities say one more skier is still unaccounted for and is presumed dead. 15 people were initially reported missing after the avalanche, which was about the size of a football field. The 6 skiers were rescued alive. Officials confirmed that the victims include 7 women and 2 men, and their families have been notified, though names have not yet been released. The rescue operations involved about 50 personnel working in extreme sentence. Young showed no visible emotion during sentencing, and his lawyers rejected the ruling, claiming it lacked evidence and accusing the judge of bias. Any appeal would send the case to the Supreme Court, potentially prolonging the legal battle for months. And to Israel now, the Israeli government installed security equipment and controlled access to a Manhattan apartment building managed by the late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, according to an investigation published by Drop Site News. Based on a tranche of emails recently released by the United States Department of Justice, the report detailed how Israeli officials coordinated directly with Epstein's staff starting in early 2016 to secure a residence at 301 East 66th Street. Former Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Barak frequently used the apartment for extended stays. While the property was technically owned by a company linked to Epstein's brother, Mark Epstein, the disgraced financier essentially controlled it. The units in the building were frequently loaned to Epstein's associates and used to house underage models, the report said. Barak served as prime minister from 1999 to 2001. Under Israeli law, former prime ministers received state-funded security after leaving office. The documents expose a direct operational relationship between Israel's permanent mission to the United Nations and Epstein's enterprise. Rafi Shlomo, the former director of protective services at the Israeli mission and head of Barak's security detail, personally controlled access to the apartment. Shlomo conducted background checks on Epstein's employees and cleaning staff and held meetings with them to coordinate the installation. Bill Gates will no longer deliver his keynote address at the India AI Impact Summit in New Delhi, according to a statement from the Gates Foundation issued just hours before he was scheduled to speak. The organization said the decision was made after careful consideration to ensure the focus remains on the summit's key priorities, but did not provide further details. Ankor Vora, president of the Foundation's Africa and India offices, will speak in his place. Gates' withdrawal comes amid renewed controversy surrounding his past association with the late financier Jeffrey Epstein following the release of new files by the U.S. Department of Justice in January. A spokesperson for Gates has described claims linked to the files as absolutely absurd and completely false. And Gates has previously said he regretted meeting Epstein. He has not been accused of wrongdoing by any Epstein's victim, and the mention of his name in the document does not imply criminal activity. The development is seen as a setback for the 5-day summit, which India has positioned as a flagship event to strengthen its role as a global artificial intelligence hub. The gathering includes policy discussions, startup showcases, and meetings on AI governance and infrastructure, with delegates from more than 100 countries in attendance. Several companies, including Microsoft, have announced investment pledges aimed at expanding AI access and infrastructure in India and other countries. You're still watching The World in 30 Minutes live on Politics and Business TV. Still to come, Zuckerberg grilled over underage users at social media trial. You're welcome back. CEO Mark Zuckerberg said Wednesday he regretted Meta's slow progress in identifying underage users on Instagram as he faced a stinging criticism at a landmark social media trial over accusations that being done to verify whether children under 13 were using the platform. The 41-year-old head of Meta, which also owns Facebook and WhatsApp, said improvements had been made. Zuckerberg was the most hotly anticipated witness in the California trial, the first in a series of lawsuits filed by American families against social media platforms. The trial marked the first time the multi-billionaire addressed the safety of his world's dominating platforms directly before a jury and under oath. And now to the crisis in South Sudan. The Paramilitary Rapid Support Forces (RSF) group carried out a coordinated campaign of destruction against non-Arab communities in and around the Sudanese city of El Fasher, the hallmark of which points to genocide, United Nations-backed experts have said. El Fasher was the last stronghold of the Sudanese army in the aspiring region of Darfur in the west of the country, until it fell to the RSF in late October last year. The two sides have been fighting a vicious civil war since April 2023. In a new report on Thursday, the Independent International Fact-Finding Mission on the Sudan said RSF fighters were responsible for atrocities after an 18-month siege on El Fasher, during which they imposed conditions calculated to bring about the physical destructions of non-Arab communities, in particular the Zagawal and the Ful communities. At least 12 people have been killed after an explosion ripped through a fireworks shop in Xinjiang, central China's Hubei province, during Lunar New Year celebrations. State media reported that the blast occurred on Wednesday after have launched an investigation into the cause of the explosion, but have yet to release further details. Officials confirmed that 5 children and 7 adults were among the victims, including the shop owner and customers purchasing fireworks for the holiday. Some of those affected had traveled from other areas to celebrate the festive season with family members. Fireworks are a long-standing Lunar New Year tradition in China, symbolizing prosperity and the warding of bad luck. The tragedy marks the second deadly fireworks-related incident in recent days. On Sunday, an explosion at a fireworks shop in Jiangsu province killed 8 people and injured 2 others, reportedly after a resident ignited fireworks near the building. Following the accident, China's Ministry of Emergency Management issued fresh safety warnings, describing fireworks as one of the biggest risks during the spring festival period, urging stricter oversight across the country. Singer Bad Bunny is to take on his first lead acting role, starring in the film alongside Javier Bardem and Edward Norton. Puerto Rico, described as a love letter to the 31-year-old son of Puerto Rico, will be directed by rapper Ren Perez, known as Residente. The film, which has been in development since 2023, is partly based on the life of Jose Maldonado Roman, a late 19th and early 20th century revolutionary. It comes after a huge year for Bad Bunny, which has seen him headline the Super Bowl halftime show and win Album of the Year at the Grammy Awards. This film is a reaffirmation of who we are, told with the intensity and honesty that our history deserves, Residente told U.S. film site Deadline. Bad Bunny has previously appeared in supporting roles such as in Brad Pitt's thriller Bullet Train and Austin Butler crime comedy Caught Stealing. On Wednesday, he was named the fifth most popular artist in the world in 2025 by global music industry body, the IFPI. And that wraps up the program. But before we go, the headlines once more. Ex-UK Prince Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor arrested amid Epstein scandal. 8 skiers found dead after California avalanche. South Korea's ex-president jailed for life over martial law attempt. Bill Gates pulls out of India's AI summit over Epstein files controversy. From me, Omike Joseph Matthew, do have a lovely day.